Hello and welcome to the channel, it's Erad, and so in today's video we are going to have a little recap about what we learned over the past couple of days regarding the next update of Star Citizen Alpha 3.23, which should normally come by the end of this semester, and it's going to be a lot of good stuff there, so hang on guys. So yeah, earlier this week we've had the first episode of Inside Star Citizen of the year, and so we could learn a little bit more about EVA, extravehicular activities, which is a feature that exists right now, but which is a little bit lackluster to say the least, something that the developers have admitted in the video. And for example, one of the main features of that lacklusterness, to say, if I could say so, is the fact that we now always smash our faces when we move from 0G to artificial gravity, which is very annoying. Well, new EVA is a feature the developers have been working on for quite some time. I don't know if you remember that old briefing room video. We could see some early stages of that new EVA, and of course in 2022 during season calls, Chris Roberts showed us a little bit more during the whole segment dedicated to Squadron 42. Well, as expected, this new feature is now ready. It's coming from Squadron 42, and now it is going into the persistent universe in its near final form, which should bring us a brand new experience. And I think that the best improvement here is the fact that now we are going to move horizontally versus vertically, which is what's happening right now. We are also going to get a brand new game interface, which is going to simplify our lives. Right now, the personal interthought that we have, which is the game interface, is quite dated. It comes from 2015 and Star Citizen Alpha 2.0, which itself came from back in the Hangar module time, which is really the very beginning, the very roots of Star Citizen. And of course, it's not adapted to the current levels of complexity of Star Citizen. The new interface is going to be working as a wheel, which will allow us to choose the desired action. It's also going to be possible to save the action that we usually prefer, which is going to allow us to go much faster, especially if you always end up doing the same thing. But that's not all. 3.23 will benefit from much more content that we currently thought here, and so that's why Jared Huckabee invited some developers in charge of 3.22 in the latest episode of Star Citizen Live. And first we were introduced to Johnny Jess Vicious, who was promoted and now takes care of features for Star Citizen and Squadron 42, and also confirmed that 3.23 will bring a whole lot of features from Squadron 42 into 3.23, including EVA that we talked about a little bit before here. Now, of course, this EVA version is still going to be improved in the future. For example, Johnny said that he would like to see jetpacks and also fuel integrated to some of the backpacks that we'll have for EVA, as well as perhaps additional oxygen tanks to be a little bit more endurant in space. The feature is also going to be improved in the future, but not in 3.23 with push and pull, so that's not going to be in 3.23, so we're gonna have to be a little bit more patient to see that. But it's ready for Squadron 42, it's just that putting it into a multiplayer environment requires a little bit more work. Johnny also gave us a little bit more details regarding the new interface that's coming up, and it's true that players have had some reserves regarding the fact that we might see the letter F a little bit everywhere. The developers are aware of that. The developers also play their own game, so this is not something that they want to see here, and they created a system that's going to allow to manage the priorities of players. So it's also going to be possible to manually select the objects that we want to interact with, just like a little bit what we can do right now. Also, we were really confirmed some really heavy stuff here, including the new distribution centers, which will be coming in 3.23. These are new massive installations that will be spread around the Star Citizen universe, and we're going to be able to do a ton of activities in there, including deliveries, transport, but also combat or infiltration. With 3.23, developers are going to be bringing some diversity to these installations. They're going to have different configurations, but also different factions are going to own these installations, including possibly hostile factions which may have taken over some of those new facilities, as well as organizations which pretend to be legit but in reality are doing some criminal activities. Jared also confirmed that these installations are going to be the biggest things ever created in Star Citizen apart from landing zones. It's also going to be possible to spend your entire time in those installations. You will have entire missions that will be applied into those. These are really going to completely change the way that we play Star Citizen. Master modes will also come with 3.23. It's a revolution of the flight system for Star Citizen, which is especially going to impact the way that we fight with our ships. Developers really want to make sure that we get much closer to each other when we are fighting, and they're trying to reduce combat distances, and they seem to be quite happy with their work. If you have tried Master modes in Arena Commander, by the way, I would like to know your thoughts on it in the comment section. We've also learned that all the ships are now going to have gimbaled weapons, except a few exceptions like the Idris and its railgun, the Ares, and also the Vanguard. Turrets are also going to benefit from these improvements, which is really going to make the life of gunners much easier. Combat in first person is also going to get some improvements. For example, we're going to have some reduced loading times, which is going to quite easy. They're going to be doing that by reducing the amount of steps it's going to take to reload or guns. Helmets are also going to have their new interface, including the minimap, which is much expected. There, it's going to come in 3.23. Unfortunately, the minimap will not be entirely complete. Not the entire universe will be there, especially ships, which have all to be manually put into the minimap. But at least it's going to be a first iteration, so we'll be able to see where we are, where we are going. We'll be able to create a route, and of course, it's going to be linked to the brand new star map. Yes, the star map is coming in 3.23. We are so happy to hear that. And on top of that, the new player configuration is also coming in, so we'll be able to create our own player characters there with the current method, but it's also going to be possible to use anchor points to modify the traits of our faces, which is really going to allow for far more possibilities than we have right now. New hairstyles are coming with new dyes as well, and also facial hair. Goods transport is also going to considerably change, freight transport, so we're going to have freight elevators, which are going to be coming in 3.23. Basically, they want storage to be more physicalized, and it's going to be a much more representative preview of what we're going to be experiencing in the future when it comes to cargo hauling. There are also going to be new missions coming over 3.23, as well as an overhaul of Geno Threat, which is going to be far more consequent and far bigger than we currently have. And the Blockade Runner should also be coming in 3.23. We're going to have also an improvement of looting, as well as a new app in the mobiGlas for shopping. But last but not least, we're going to talk about the economy. The economy is also going to change in 3.23, especially prices. One other thing that Chris Roberts is not happy with right now regarding the economy is how missiles are so cheap. It doesn't reflect the reality. Also, it should be easier to earn money, but also easier to spend it as well. So there's going to be a rebalancing of prices, including armor, weapons, as well as ships and vehicles. So we should expect there a significant change here when it comes to prices of ships and vehicles. Especially, there's going to be some changes with manufacturers themselves. An Origin ship is obviously going to be more expensive than a Drake ship. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be more expensive. The Pisces Rescue, for example, should see its price lower to about $500,000 Alpha UEC versus the Auro, which is a high-performance combat ship, which should be closer to $2 million Alpha UEC. The Constellation should be around $10 million, the Hammerhead $45 million, and multi-crew ships overall should be more expensive because they do expect players to band together to make such purchases. The Atlantic Jump, as far as it is concerned, should be at around $70 million Alpha UEC. So there we go. This is what was told in the past 2 days here, which really make us think that Alpha 3.23 is going to lay the foundations for what is going to be later Star Citizen Alpha 4.0 with the introduction of server meshing and the Parrot system. The game is really going to change here with the brand new features coming from Squadron 42, which is going to allow this transformation to become a reality, and that is absolutely awesome. Well, with that comes the end of this video. I want to give a big shout out to Luigi Fun for winning this Cutlass Rambler on X. The link is in the description down below. We should have more giveaways in the future, so make sure to follow me on X if you haven't done so. If you like this video, let me know with a thumbs up, as well as a little subscribe perhaps if you want to have more Star Citizen videos from good old Erad. A big shout out to my Patreon and YouTube members who also keep the lights on the channel. You guys are absolutely awesome. If you too want to support the channel, you have the link in the description down below. I will see you guys in the next one. Shout out to Dr. Fabin, Zero Crusher, Deplorable, Fidel, Ducky to Ducker. Have a wonderful day. Cheers.